Hi, this is Scott Dudley, and in this video we're going to take a look at how you can adjust the session timeout in GA4 and why you'd even want to do that in the first place. So to begin with, we need to go over to admin in the GA4 interface and then click on data streams. And then once that's opened up, we click on the right hand side here, the arrow, and then we come down to configure the tag settings. Again, we click on the arrow on the right hand side. Just wait for that to load. Click on show all. And then the second option here from the bottom is to adjust the session timeout. So we click on that and we'll see that the default that GA4 gives you is the bare minimum in all cases here. So for the session timeout, they give you 30 minutes. And for the engaged sessions, they give you 10 seconds. So actually, it could be set to 5 minutes as the minimum. But even so, it's not very long, a 30-minute session. So these days it's common for people at work to have a tab open in the browser and they jump around the tabs and they come back and forth, and it's quite possible that somebody might visit your website 4 or 5 different times during the day. But if there's more than a 30-minute interval between each of those times that they browse, then GA4 is going to count that as 4 or 5 sessions, depending on how many times they've done it. So what I recommend you do is you adjust these to the maximum so that way you're not going to be getting inflated amounts of sessions. And particularly here for the engaged session, I mean, they only give you 10 seconds. It's pretty hard to be engaged on a website when you've only been on there for 10 seconds. So the maximums you've got is for the session timeout, 7 hours and 55 minutes. And then for the engaged sessions, the maximum for that is 60 seconds or a minute. So obviously you can change these to whatever you want, but this is what I would recommend. I mean, for a proper engaged session, you would really want to be measuring this to be a lot longer than 10 seconds. I mean, if somebody's on a web page for 10 seconds and then leaves, then in my mind, that's not an engaged session. They haven't really done anything on that website to count it properly as an engaged session. Whereas if they're on there for a good 60 seconds and looking around, then that is a much more meaningful engaged session. I mean, you could set it to 30 seconds. That's quite feasible. Maybe for some people 60 seconds is too long, and you might think that within 30 seconds, that gives people enough time to scroll right down to the bottom of the page to read all of the content, if it's not a long post. But in my mind, it just makes more sense to have this on 60 seconds, the longer engaged session time. So once you're happy with the settings in here, you can click on save, and then that will update those, and then from that moment forwards it will start applying those new session timeouts to your reports. So hopefully that was helpful. If you'd like to ask any questions related to this, just let me know in the comments. Thanks.